Well, hello again. It's Adam Kline talking at you from Olympia. This is my weekly video report to the folks back in the 37th. I asked these guys on the crew here what I talked about last week, and they said it was violence prevention, death penalty, and Citizens United. So this week, I'd like to talk about violence prevention, the death penalty, and Citizens United. Okay, I'm repeating myself. These videos are about issues that I find important to the people of the district and that I'm currently working on, so bear with me, okay? I know this gets repetitive. It used to be about taxes, remember? It was all about taxes. This year, I got other issues. Let's talk about violence prevention first. We had a meeting today of the stakeholders, that is the people from organizations that have an interest in this, and the 6 or so of us Democratic senators who are working on bills related to guns, to the possession and use of guns, and to mental health issues related to guns. This is going to be a difficult piece because the wide variety of interest groups involved. That's a good thing. We want to have this kind of trouble more often. Popular feeling, not just in the 37th, but all over the state, yes, including Eastern Washington, is such that we cannot fail to act. And I believe that our Republican opponents are in a position of wondering just how much they really want to play defense. This can be exciting times. I believe that we're in a position to get serious legislation passed. My own piece is about the requirement for universal background checks. Not just having Washington State, as Congress has already allowed us to do, to fill in the Brady bill, the federal loophole, and require that at gun shows, even the non-dealers have to sell through a dealer in order to get the background check. So that the questions are asked, are you a felon, mentally ill and violent? Are you underage? Simply having that check of your status as a gun buyer really, I think, will help keep guns out of the hands of criminals. I add 2 more pieces to that. One is a requirement that if you sell 6 or more guns in a year, and you're not currently required by federal law to be a dealer, you are now going to be required by state law to be a dealer. It costs $125. It's not a big piece, but it does require that all sales of yours go through the background checks. Then we come to the truly incidental sales. I don't mean the sales that are passed off as if they were incidental, but are really somebody's core business. No, I mean, somebody who sells 5 or fewer in the course of a year, garage sale type things. Those aren't required to be dealers, but they are required to sell through dealers, and we're going to cap the background check charge at $5. So there's no great economic burden. The net result of all of this is that all sales are through background checks. Now, it's going to take a long time before that starts really decreasing the flow of guns into that pool of illicit guns that are in the hands of criminally minded people. They're there. We can't just uproot them and get rid of them. We'd like to. But what we can do is cut off the supply into that pool from these sales at gun shows. Okay, so much for that. Death penalty. I have a bill that would simply repeal Washington's death penalty. It's nothing new. I've had this bill before. Several other senators have, as usual, joined me on it. It's getting to be old hat. The ACLU, allegedly, is putting together a push for this bill, and I'm kind of waiting to feel the love here. Currently, it's before the new chair of the what's now called the Law and Justice Committee, formerly the Judiciary Committee. You know now that we have a Republican majority here. And it's a wonderful gentleman from Spokane, a lawyer, former judge, somebody with whom I see eye to eye on issues of judicial discretion and the running of the courts, but not, unfortunately, on gun bills and on the death penalty. So far, the bill to repeal the death penalty has not gotten a hearing. I'm pushing on it, and I could use a little help. Another issue that the last of these three issues that will come before us is Citizens United. I have a joint memorial to Congress. It requires, it simply asks that Congress begin the drafting process under Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution to amend the Constitution for the sole purpose of returning to the states and to Congress the authority to regulate the contributions made to political candidates and to ballot issues, and to require disclosure, the amount, the timing, and the source. I think this is a bipartisan bill. I know you may disagree. Part of me disagrees, okay? But I have to push for this bill as if I sincerely believe that Republicans are as willing as we are to support it. There are, in fact, some who will. And I'm happy to know now that the chair of the relevant committee has heard the bill. We just had the hearing this morning. It was attended by a large number of people who want to see the Congress amend the Constitution and the people ratify it so that the control over anonymous billions, and that's not a mispronunciation, billions, that were spent in the 2012 presidential and congressional and gubernatorial campaigns, it doesn't happen again. We don't need that kind of money. It drowns out the real voices of the people. I'm sorry to say that the ACLU is on the wrong side of this. The ACLU believes, apparently, that the more speech, the better, the more money, because money is speech. You can disagree with that. So therefore, why regulate it? And somehow, my feeling is that when speech on one side of any issue gets so loud that the other cannot be heard, that is not free speech. That is fettered speech. That is useless and futile speech because nobody can hear it. I hope that the legislature agrees and that we see an amendment to the Citizens United. That's about it. That's the news from Lake Wobegon. Y'all take care.